What is going on, guys? This is your boy here again, Dean, and I am, right before I leave on my trip, giving you guys the decks that I don't think were just quite good enough. Maybe I didn't have enough time to really think about them enough, or maybe they're just not the right power level for the first video. So these are going to be decks that are really sick at locals. Actually, the first deck I think you could probably bring to a regional. I'm not going to lie. I think it needs a little bit of fixing. So let's get into it. First up we have is the Latica Puppet deck. This was on the spreadsheet, and it turned out to be a team regional, where if you've ever heard the Nala guide that's on the Shadowverse Evolve YouTube on Japan, it's where we get a lot of deck lists from. He's a very good YouTuber, very good editing, good player. They managed to take it down with this on their team. I don't think this list is perfect after having played it quite a bit. I think that maybe we need to cut Noah or something. There needs to be a little bit something done with the list, I think, as far as the amount of reach that you have. Big things to really talk about. I'm not going to bore you guys with the card by card. There's actually almost no new cards except for the substitution, which is really good against both dirt and against bats. They do go for the Vania push. You substitution the Vania. Okay, you're good to go. You're still alive. And then you just clean them up from there. And the Paula Icy Warmth. This card's very good. It's got the two sides, both for the crazy Noah push that did not come up once in 15 games. And for the Spell Dig. The Spell Dig is very good. It helps you find Heartless Battle. It helps you find the Send 'em Packing. Gets you to where you want to be. You got some other spells in here, I think, that are just there to up your spell count so that this thing doesn't whiff. I can get behind that, though I'm not sure if the current counts are the best, though I do really like the deck. We got the Ghastly Treant. This guy, he's not very good without the cards that put the trees on the board. I think he's there for healing. More healing we have, the better. It helps us live. It helps us out heal things like dirt. I can get behind it. It feels like the worst card in the deck alongside, I think, Noah. And Noah feels like it's quite hard to get pushes with compared to the other cards. And what do I like about this? Despite the fact it's missing, it's missing the flower dolls, it's missing the mechanized soldier, it's missing some of the, the puppet generators that otherwise you'd be playing. I don't like Anastasia as a card. I put out those things. I put out this tier list about the tier 1, and it was the best deck. But Anastasia as a card is a little awkward. It's a little awkward because you're supposed to hold these resources for this combo turn. You're supposed to, Heartless Battle, get the 0 mana cards, or have the puppets, and you're incentivized to put 5 cards on the board on your Anastasia turn. And it's kind of bad practice to play more than 5. So it's this thing where you sometimes overextend to commit the 5, or sometimes underextend to only commit 5 with the Anastasia, because after 5, it's you've lost your pump. You're kind of de-incentivized to continue playing cards, even if those cards would make your position a little bit better, because you're if my Anastasia lives, I need the combo pieces in hand. And then you run into the way the board develops with the Anastasia, where because you're holding the combo pieces in the back, and you're playing the setup pieces in the mid game, the Anastasia board also needs to be able to deal with a threat, which usually means you're trading in a Zwei. And if you're trading in the Zwei, it's you just lost a 5-2 on the board. That was something your opponent might have needed to respond to, but you had to trade it in because they already had a threat. It feels a little awkward, and I feel like the board at the end isn't always as good as I would like it to be. And we saw Prussia manage to top without Anastasia in his deck. I was honestly quite surprised, and I like that about this. Well, I like Latica. Latica's an insane, it's a powerhouse of a card. You can have some unbelievable turns. I've had games I thought I was going to lose. We're in a bad spot, but then I hold the Lloyds, and I go Lloyd, Victoria, Spinaria. This is turn 6 with an Evo Orb. Okay, Spinaria is the third one. I get 3 mana back. I'm back to 4. I grab a Latica. I have a Send 'em Packing in hand. Play down the Latica for 4. That is now the 4th card. Send 'em Packing is the 5th. I wipe my opponent's board, and we look at my board now. I've got a 4/1 with Rush, a 3/5 ward, a 2/4 ward, and I have a 7/7 on my board. And my opponent has nothing. They have nothing. It's the amount of just it's just suddenly the entire game is flipped. It's very hard for them to deal with the double wards. It's very like I have so much stats on the board. I have so many threats. Even the 1 health on the Victoria, it's just hard to hit it by proxy of like how many other things are on the board. And I've already gotten in a third of their health. And so the push from the Latica mixed with the puppets, using them as an advantage engine, unbelievable. Unbelievable pushes. Super fun deck. It's a little bit top heavy. Little bit heavy on some of the curve. I think that there's a couple things we could fix. Not sure what to do, but you guys have to play it. You have to try it. Let me know how you like it. I love this deck. I absolutely love it. I think it's the most fun deck I've played in a while. But that's because I love Latica. Next up is the Onion deck. There was only a few Onion decks on the spreadsheet. I played this a little bit, and holy shit, this deck is good. It was like 6-0 into Sword. I could not beat Dirt Rune. And I think I went like 4-2 into Bats or something like that. It was like surprisingly good for a joke deck. Let's get into card by card. There's not a lot. This card, Alusa, this is like your 3 mana. This is your Maid Leader type card, but it searches Arcana Forms, which is your really fucked up boss monster, Burgett, the Onion Patchmaster. Onions. Talk about them. 1 mana, 1/1, Rush. You can have infinite copies of them, and you have 50 copies in your deck. And if there's at least 5 in the grave, it has Storm and Strike. Deal 1 damage to an enemy follower on the field. So, okay, so 1 face. After 5 in grave, we get 1 face, 1 board. Okay, we have 50 of them. 21 of this thing, super fucking consistent. Craig, he draw drops twice. Put 2 onions in grave for 2 mana without losing 2 hand. Is really what he's there for. This thing, I think this was in there as the 50th card because he's okay card. Burgent, the Onion Patchmaster. This card is good. Okay, so Arcana Form, so our 1 mana card tutors it. So we have basically 6 copies in the deck. And it has Evolve for 1, but on play we get to top check 5, and we can summon up to 2 Onion Patches among them. You know, I complained about Baleon's consistency. I've complained about Alice effects. You got 21 onions. Let me tell you, I have not whiffed this effect yet. So I'm not jaded on it yet. Could be in the future. Not sure. But then we evote for 1. So, okay, so this is a 4 mana play. And then it has tap, pay 1. So this is actually a 5 mana play, 4 mana with Evo Orb. Search your deck for 2 cards named Onion Patch, summon them, and shuffle your deck. Okay, so we can get 4 total. And here's where it gets messed up. While this card is on your field, if an Onion Patch on your field would deal damage, it deals that much plus 1 instead. That Strike that deals 1, it now deals 2. That Storm for 1 is now Storm for 2. That means that this card for 4 to 5 mana, as long as you have 5 onions in the grave, is pushing 8 face and 8 board. And it's modular. That's the important part. If your opponent is threatening Barrage, which is the only thing that can kill this card for 1 mana, right? If they're threatening Barrage, you play down the first side. Storm in for 2. Well, I guess you have to evolve this. You evolve this thing first. You storm in for 2. You pop something on the board for 2. They Barrage, they kill 2 onions. You tap this. You still get 4 face and 6 board. The amount of board clear from this deck is like actually kind of frightening. Because, you know, you're saying this, you're putting down the onions. Yeah, Barrage can clean it up. There's a lot of things to clean it up, but not every class has that, and not every deck has that. And when you're able to put up this threat like 2 turns in a row, 3 turns in a row, and you're able to deal with them while pushing the face damage, like we were just talking about with the Latica, that's what's very powerful. It's when we're able to deal with multiple threats on the board while also pushing face damage. Demon Caller, this card's like, you know, people arguing for Floral Fencer and Sword. This is the Floral Fencer for Rune, and it discards an onion out of hand while putting stats on board. Curse Crafter, I think you cut this card. This card is not good. I think that Curse Crafter could come off the ban list, honestly. The more I play with him, he's pretty slow. Removal. Discard. I guess he's in the deck. Staff of Whirlwinds is a new messed up card, too. 4 mana. We get to deal damage to the entire board and the enemy leader equal the number of Runecraft followers on your field. Bunch of onions live. Okay, but that's like 16 damage, right? You storm in for 8. Maybe that's not good. But like, let's say you go like a little bit wide early. I honestly, this card has felt win more. This card has felt like almost unusable because if my onions have lived, I think my opponent's dead. Maybe your opponent tries to board lock you and they try to magically live, I guess, is the thought process. For our opponent, you know, it's not a bad card. It just feels like the weakest card in the deck because it's so situational. Two Sylvias, 1 card, 5 damage face. That's really what it's here for. Ends the game. Good card. Good card. And now, I'm sorry, there's no deck log for this one. If you guys don't like that, let me know. I want to talk about Spartacus. I was trying to build a Spartacus deck before I leave, but my flight is... This is the last day I really have to record and spend some time on the mic. I could not find a Spartacus deck that I liked, and I don't really think I know what direction I want to go with it. This was probably the closest one I found, but I didn't really want to give it the seal of approval. I didn't want to put it into deck log, as I don't think this is what I would play personally. So I'm just going to kind of go over Spartacus as a whole. So Spartacus is a card that says at the end of your turn, you can discard as many cards as you want from your hand, and then you draw that many +1, and if you're left with 1 or less cards in deck from that effect, you win the game. So it is a goal. It is an alternate win condition deck. I've seen it in Natura. I don't like the Natura part because I don't think Natura builds the biggest hands. It builds a lot of EX area, which is like pseudo hand, but it doesn't build the hand. I don't like the Tycoon guy. I think he's a little too slow. I think this was the closest one in spirit to what I'm thinking. I think what you want is like the Prim Nonya combo, because Prim searches Nonya, which gives you an additional card to hand. It gives you filter. I think that the Roland is very powerful, giving you the amulet, giving you the ward, giving you the heal. And I think the Cyclone Blade is a good card to help you like clean up the board, so the Barbarossa is a nice inclusion. I think this deck has a lot of the right cards. I don't think that Armor of the Stars is correct. I don't think that the Geno guy is right. Something tells me that maybe Geno Evo to search Durandale is not the play. I'm not sure if we need the Princess Strikes. I'm not sure if we need the Whole-Souled Slash. I don't think that a 1-drop is even necessary in this deck if it's not Bellringer. But that's kind of where my thought is going with this one. I'm not 100% certain what the list looks like. If you guys have a Spartacus list and you guys have cooked something up, please share it. I would love to see a Spartacus deck actually do something in this format. Personally, I would like to see, I think Durandale and Roland, I think that is 100% the way to go. I think that the Cyclone Blade and the Nonyas and the Prims. So using that as a base, someone that has time, this format, and it might be me once I get back. I'm currently going to be leaving for 3 weeks. But when I get back, who knows, maybe I'll go and fix this deck up. But I just want to share it with you guys since it just came out. And who knows, maybe lead you guys down the right path. And if you guys like this video, smash that like button, comment, subscribe. And until next time, this is your boy Dean signing out.